Hello everyone, so I just got back from a screening of Knock at the Cabin. This movie is rated R, an hour and 40 minutes long, and it is directed and written by M. Night Shyamalan. Stars Dave Bautista, Jonathan Goff, Ben Aldridge within this, and yeah, I was kind of nervous anticipating this movie. I'm always very hit and miss with M. Night Shyamalan, usually misses for the most part, so yeah, I'm a little nervous going to this one, but yes, without further ado, let me get into my review for Knock at the Cabin. So this movie is about a family of three, so an adoptive daughter and her two dads vacationing in a remote cabin where all of a sudden four people come in claiming that they are part of a group who has a very important mission of saving the world. They take this family hostage and they demand that the family make a choice to avert the apocalypse, and that is by sacrificing one of themselves. They say that the only way to avert the apocalypse is, again, to, through their order, carrying out it's their mission to have the family again sacrifice one of their own, and that is going to stop the apocalypse. So it is a very tense situation, and Dave Bautista leads this group of four who claim that again they are the ones who are here to avert the apocalypse. You sense a lot of empathy within them, a lot of sorrow for what they're doing, a lot of pain for what they're doing, but they truly believe that what they're saying is the right thing to do. And I found that for the most part this movie was really intense, and it nailed into, again, to just that fear factor of what this situation would bring on. And I found that there was a lot of really good emotion and kind of good character moments that are shared with, again, to the three members of the family that we have here. And Dave Bautista's performance in this is really good too. He's easily one of the standouts within this. But I found that Ben Aldridge, I was looking at his IMDb page a little earlier, and he hasn't really done a lot, and he was incredible in this movie. So I think we're going to start to see him quite a bit more, because I really liked what he brought to the table within this. But the acting is really good on all fronts. Again, so I love Dave Bautista's performance in this. Jonathan Goff was great. Ben Aldridge was amazing. Rupert Grint, who I haven't really seen do too much. He was in Guillermo del Toro's Cabinet of Curiosities. Well, Rupert Grint is who played Ron Weasley in the Harry Potter movies. He's in this, and I really liked his performance in this as well. And the one performance that I was really happy with, and it was fucking awesome, was the young girl played by Kristen, I'm hoping I pronounced this right, Cui is how you spell her last name. She was incredible in this, and easily a very great child actor, so I can't wait to see more of, because she knocked it out of the park with this role, and yeah, just did a really good job within this movie. Now, I did find that the movie used his characters decently well for the most parts, but I found this movie was extremely predictable, because again, too, just how like the characters weren't one-dimensional, but you could really tell their motivations and where they're going to go through the really entirety of this movie. It wasn't really hard to pinpoint how they were going to change based off of the events really early on within the movie, and you kind of knew who, again, too, was going to meet what fate by the end of this movie. And yeah, there's it was really predictable, not really in too many bad ways, but I just really wish that there was a lot more that again, too, they could have done to make this movie a lot less predictable in a lot of ways. And I found too that again, too, this being an M. Night Shyamalan film, I was expecting a really big twist, and for the most part we don't really get anything within it, which again, too, kind of disappointed me in a lot of ways, but again, too, just made that predictability of the movie feel all the more like worse for what this movie could have been in a lot of ways. The beginning is pretty exciting, again, to figuring out what's going to happen, but I found that after the first choice that the family is given to, like, so from the first choice to the third choice, this movie was very bland and boring, and I found that, again, too, that's where a lot of the predictability started to take place, and I was very nervous about how things were going to be moving forward. And again, too, just a lot of my troubles with, again, too, how this movie was going to be paced and everything. That's where I found the majority of this movie just had its problems. And then kind of the last, like, the fourth, fifth of this movie was very exciting. It got extremely intense and was just really well done. I found that that's kind of too where the directing of this movie was almost at its best. There's one part in this that I just found was really funny, involving Dave Bautista's character in a really tiny window that you're guessing, did he um, could he have escaped through this window at the time? But in all reality, like his head barely would have fit through this window, sort of thing. So I just found that that was a really, really funny kind of moments that there was a lot of times in this movie where I couldn't tell if they were going for humor or not. So a lot of times I kind of laughed because it just felt and sounded really, really awkward in so many ways. But yeah, it was really, really weird. And yeah, it was just really there's so many like just downfalls with again too just little things like that how they this movie used its environment and when it came to the ending of this movie, this is kind of one of the biggest that's it moments that I've had after watching a movie in a long, long time where it felt really hollow. There was a lot of things that they touched in with like the New Testament and like God, religion, again to the apocalypse, all these things that were just not explored in any good way or any interesting ways. Just kind of mentioned and not really dived into in a lot. Even though we got to know a little bit about kind of like the very simple backstory of a lot of these characters, we didn't get to explore really a lot about what their mission meant in a lot of ways. And if it was akin to necessary in a lot of ways because this movie didn't feel necessary in so many ways. And yeah, it just it felt really, really hollow. It felt boring. It was extremely predictable in a lot of ways. And really with everything things together, I'm gonna have to give Knock at the Cabin a 5 out of 10. Again, too, some of the performances in this, and again, the tense moments work really, really well in moments. The performances are great in moments and in a lot of ways, but then a lot of the writing and sometimes the directing and again to how they use the set just doesn't work in a lot of ways and makes this movie fall very, very flat for what could have been a very, very interesting and a lot scarier of a hostage situation if they would have again to explored its themes and characters a lot more. So if you've seen Knock at the Cabin, please let me know what you thought about it in the comments down below. And if you like this review, definitely give it a thumbs up and you can check out everything I do on this channel through my playlist down below. And I'll link some up top here for convenience sake. Thank you for subscribing. Turn that little ringer on so you know when I upload new videos. If you don't check out the description of this video on my channel bio, there's a link to the Media Mountain, which is my Discord where we talk about movies, video games, comic books, TV, pretty much everything that's awesome in this world. Thank you for definitely join that amazing community. Help make it even more amazing than it is already. And yeah, just awesome, guys.
I just hope that someone would love me.